Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Coffee Chat Vlogs. I don't have my coffee this afternoon because I'm filming in the afternoon, and I just finished a workout, but cheers. Bing. If you are enjoying your cup of coffee, enjoy it well, and please have a great day. And if you are going through challenging times, trust that it will get better. And I hope when I say these things, it doesn't come off as fake or not genuine. But I like to think that because I have myself gone through trialing times and challenges, and the fact that I got through it, and the fact that I did experience things getting better as time went on, I gotta believe it will also do the same for you too. Yeah. And sometimes we just need that extra push of motivation, that encouragement with someone telling you that, hey, it will be better. Hey, there is light at the end of the tunnel, for us to take those extra steps to, in fact, make things better. And time always heals, right? So wanted to encourage you with that today. So yeah, it will get better, trust that. But something I've been thinking about recently, as you know, or maybe you don't, but I did mention it in one of the previous vlogs, I forgot which one. But I create these vlogs, yes, to encourage you. Yes, also to encourage me. But a way that it encourages me is that I think, okay, if I were to give encouragement and advice to myself 2 years ago, or even last year, what would I say to myself? And I actually journaled a lot during that time. And sometimes I would open up my journal and reread some previous entries. And I would think to myself, okay, if this was someone that was sitting in front of me right now, we're really sharing a cup of coffee, what would I say to them? And then I would share. But that got me thinking, if I had to give words and advice to my teenage self, my 18-year-old self, what would I say to him? And I'm curious, if you had to give advice to your 18-year-old self, what would you say to them? Yeah, leave in the comments. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. But as I sat with that thought more and more, there are a few things. And I think the most important thing that I would tell my teenage self. Now, mind you, when I was a teenager, I'm 32 right now, so I can't do the math as I'm vlogging and talking and walking. That was a while ago, more than 10 years ago. But when I was a teenager, I was very highly emotional, like most teenagers are. I was very into music, and some might even put me in the category of like an emo kid, a scene kid, whatever. I had like hair that swept over my eye, and yeah, it was a whole scene. But if I had to tell myself, give myself advice, the first thing I would tell myself is, don't sacrifice family time. Don't sacrifice family time. Don't take that for granted. Because I remember when I was 16 to 18, I was dating this girl, and at the time, even I knew subconsciously that she was no good for me. And the biggest thing was she took a lot of time away from my family. And any time that I would choose spending time with my family, my brother, my mother, my father, when he was still around, she would get mad. But I mean, as a teenager, I didn't know any better. I always thought my family was always gonna be around, and I wanted to make her happy, and it was fun. But I learned as I, continued to grow through my teenage years that my family wouldn't last forever, in the sense that people pass, people move on, and you can't get more time with them. Yeah, so my father, he passed when I was 18 due to colon cancer. And I mean, right now I would give anything to spend more time with him, to play tennis with him, to have and engage in meaningful conversation that I wasn't, almost like forced in, and pick his brain at life advice, what he did when he was younger, and all that kind of stuff that I never actually got to do. My father did encourage me a lot, but it was like those moments where you don't want to hear because you thought as a teenager you knew everything, and your parents are just like nagging at you, that kind of moment. But if I can relive those times, I would say, don't sacrifice family time for anything else. Things would always come and go, things would always pass, but your family is what is there. Yeah, that time, those memories, those are what's most important. Yeah. But secondly, if I had to tell my teenage self, is that don't be afraid to chase your dreams. I know that sounds so cliche and that's like what everyone would say, but it's true. I had a lot of big ambitions at the time. I wanted to go into music. I wanted to be like a music engineer, a producer. Not like, nowadays I feel like everyone in one way, shape, or form, they want to, be like a DJ or produce music because it's so easy, kind of. I mean, you can whip out a computer program and you can make a beat and it can sound good. But I really did want to, not necessarily DJ, but I wanted to be a music engineer. I wanted to help produce acoustic music. I wanted to help produce bands, be in the music scene, music industry. And that was a big hobby of mine throughout high school and even in the early years of college. But eventually it kind of just dwindled because I ended up getting a job in the insurance industry, and that kind of just fizzled out because I needed to get paid. I needed to pay rent. I needed to support myself because I moved out when I was in college and so forth. But I would tell myself, chase your dreams, even if it doesn't make complete sense. Do what you gotta do to be happy, to be fulfilled, to be satisfied. But at the same time, the path that I took, I never actually finished college. I would tell people that I, finished college in 2015. And they just assume, okay, you graduated because you finished college. But no, I never finished. I actually dropped out my junior year to pursue ministry, actually. And because I had a job in the insurance industry, so I was kind of set. So there wasn't much of a real need at the time to finish college. Plus, it was super expensive and I was in huge debt. But what I'm saying is, although that was the path that I chose, to be honest, I wouldn't trade it any other way. Even though these are the advice I would tell my younger self, if I could relive it, I would love to be able to spend more time with my father, to spend more time with my family, to tell that girlfriend at the time, hey, zip it. Let me do what makes me happy. Let me do what, I need to with my family because I know they're not gonna be around forever. And if she threw a fit, then I knew that wasn't the right fit. And in fact, she did throw fits and it is what it is. But looking back at it now, although these are the things that I would tell my past self, I wouldn't change anything from my journey because I know that the mistakes that I made, the decisions that I made, even though it may have impacted my life, not in the greatest way, impacted the people around me in not the greatest way, it took time away from them. It was those moments that actually grew me as the man that I am right now. It was those times that allowed me to be who I am today. And I know if I didn't go through those patches in my life, that I wouldn't be who I am. If I didn't go to the college that I went to, and then if I didn't go to the church that I went to at that time, I wouldn't have met my wife. If I didn't stop school when I did, I wouldn't have been in the position that I was at that time to continue to grow myself as an individual. And maybe that's another story for another vlog. And I guess to wrap things up, to bring this in a big circle, spend time with your loved ones. Yeah, life is already difficult as it is. Sometimes it may seem like we have to do it alone because we don't want to burden the people around us. We don't want to put extra baggage on our loved ones by not being with them, by not sharing with them, by taking on that pressure on our own. But share with them, spend time with them, cherish those moments, even if they're moments that at that time seems like it's not the greatest. Because those moments with family are the moments that you won't necessarily have another chance of. Yeah, I would give so much to just have my father threaten to hang me from the ceiling, to whip me in shape because I was misbehaving for not eating my vegetables as a kid. I would give another just minute to play tennis with him on the courts. Time that I could have had if I didn't spend my time fooling around with this high school ex-girlfriend whom is not even in my life anymore. But again, I wouldn't trade anything that happened in my life for anything else, because I know who I am right now is a result of all these things that I had to go through. And that's why I believe that things will be okay. Even if it seems like it's such a deep pit of despair, deep abyss that we can't get out of, it will be okay. I'm not saying my story, my situation was anything close to yours. Yours may be completely different and even more challenging than mine. But at the end of the day, it will also pass too. The duration might be a little bit longer. The things that you have to do, the things that you have to face might be a little bit different, but it will be okay. Yeah, surround yourself with your loved ones, surround yourself with people that care. Share your heart, share your feelings with them. Don't take on that burden all by yourself. Because the world feels so much more lonely when you take that upon yourself. But when you can share it with others, then together it can be overcome. Yeah. There was a third thing that I thought to myself, but I forgot what it was. But it's a pretty cool, pretty neat question to ask yourself. You know, if you had to give your advice for your younger self, and it could be any age, what would you tell them? And you'd be surprised at the wisdom that comes out of that answer. Yeah. But with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up this vlog. I'm just wandering around this baseball field. Pretty neat. Yeah. My gym is just right there, that building. But yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap up this vlog. I hope you have a great day. And leave in the comments, again, what you would tell your past self. And I bet, the words that you say to your past self can even be encouraging to the people around you today. Yeah, okay. All right, well, have a good day. Have a blessed day. And again, whatever it is that you're going through, it will be okay. Trust that. All right, till next time, let's continue to keep each other and comfort one another one cup at a time. Cheers. Boop. Bye.